Well, I guess this is why he went 5th overall, isn't it? Today, we're giving ourselves a little bit of time to fluff up the Anaheim Ducks. Because if you haven't been noticing as of the past few weeks here, the Ducks have been one of the NHL's best teams. They're out there in 8th place in the National Hockey League with 17 points in 12 games, and they are 7-2-1 in their last 10. Add to this a goals for record, which is tied for 4th in the National Hockey League, and you start to wonder, okay, the Ducks are doing well. They're getting some goal support. They're 8-3-1. This team's not losing many games here. You talk about all these teams being at or above 500. Well, Anaheim, they're 3rd in the league when it comes to points percentage. They're doing very, very well. And one of the guys who has totally taken over in terms of that goal scoring is Cutter Gauthier. And I wanted to bring up some talking points and just some narratives from social media that I've been seeing suggesting whether or not the Flyers should regret this trade. Because you might be thinking about it, oh yeah, Gauthier, he's on the orange Anaheim Ducks team. That mental association with color, I think, kind of blurs the line with Anaheim and Philadelphia. Because Cutter Gauthier, of course, he was drafted by the Philly Flyers back in 2022. 5th overall guy, 21 years old, 6'2", 201, left-handed left wing and center. He's on his ELC. And the drama with Cutter Gauthier back when he was draft eligible and playing with Boston College in the NCAA was quite notable. The fact that this guy straight up said that he doesn't really want to play for the Philadelphia Flyers, you can debate whether or not Danny Briere is responsible for that, whether or not the timeline of Gauthier asking out and Briere coming into the organization aligns in a way that makes sense to you. You can debate all that in the comment section if you want, but it doesn't change how everything went down. Cutter Gauthier, after having a stellar year in Boston College, decided to go back. And it was a really strange situation because everybody was like, okay, wait, why are you going back? You don't need to go back. He dominated with BC in that second year. 65 points, 41 games. It was like, yeah, you don't need to go back. What's gives? And then he was like, yeah, no, I'm not playing for this team. Then he got traded to Anaheim, and now the rest is history. Because Cutter Gauthier right now has 10 goals and 16 points in 12 games for the Ducks. He is on pace for 68 goals on the year, and he is tied for the NHL's lead in goals, period. He's in a tie with Nathan MacKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, Jack Hughes, and Cole Caulfield. Look at these NTDP guys, man. Totally just showing up and stealing the show. They all have 6 assists too, by the way. Cutter Gauthier, Jack Hughes, and Cole Caulfield, 10 goals, 6 assists on the year. Draisaitl, 7 assists, and Nathan MacKinnon's got 10 assists, so he, of course, is actually not number 1 in the league in points. Oh no, it's Connor McDavid, baby. So it's a really tight ship over here near the top of the NHL in points, but Cutter Gauthier has totally taken over with his hat trick yesterday against the Florida Panthers, which, by the way, was an absolutely dumb night for Sergei Bobrovsky. Look, I have him in both of my fantasy teams that I pay attention to the most, and he totally got lit up. 7 goals against and however many shots. Like, come on, Sergei. Stop a puck, please. I get that your team is last in the East, but please do better. Cutter Gauthier has only gone pointless in 2 out of the 12 games, he has played so far. And just looking at the production here, I mean, he had 1 point in his first 3 games, a goal. So if you eliminate that, he has himself 9 goals and 6 assists in his last 9 games. He is a legitimate goal-a-game guy, with the hat trick rounding things out in this span of games if you exclude the first 3 on the year. And even still, 10 goals in 12 games is very, very strong. Now, we're taking a look at the trade which sent Gauthier to Anaheim in the first place. All you gotta do, scroll down here on Elite Prospects, look over for the trade, and then take a look at this right here. It's on the NHL's website. So Cutter Gauthier was acquired from Philadelphia for Jamie Drysdale and a second-round pick. And admittedly, Drysdale, I know that Rick Tocchet said that Drysdale can be like a Quinn Hughes, but Drysdale's 23 years old, right-handed defenseman, and he's got 5 points in 13 games right now. He's on pace for 31, which would be a little bit better than what he has done previously. That 32-point season in 21-22 still stands as his best in his career. But Jamie Drysdale is just not Cutter Gauthier. And the Flyers were forced to make that trade because Gauthier didn't want to stick around. It wasn't really their fault. But now you have folks like Adam Wild going out there and saying this, hey, it's too early to tell, but I've already said it. This could be a top 3 worst trade in Flyers history. Let's go out there and read some of the replies. Cutter is certainly better than Jamie Drysdale, and no one is denying the Flyers lost the trade. However, the context of his refusing to play in Philly is pretty important. They knew he was good, given they drafted him 5th, but Philadelphia had 0 leverage and they could have lost him for nothing. I 100% agree, but the Flyers could have just said, too bad, you're here, and Torts is now gone, which was the main reason, so he'd probably be playing. Let's look at some of the responses over here. In hindsight, this is now a possibility with Torts gone, but at the time, their hand was forced to trade him. I'm not disagreeing with the trade being bad, I just disagree with the could be a top 3 worst trade based on that context. And then one of the other replies says, well, luckily you're divorced, so no one cares. That's crazy. But yeah, Cutter Gauthier in a spot where he did ask out and force the Flyers to make a move. He also had this posted by Bleacher Report Open Ice. Cutter Gauthier is the first player 21 or younger to score 10 goals in his first 12 games since Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews both did it in 2018. And there are a number of things actually wrong with this graphic. I don't want to get all too up on BR Open Ice's grill here, but look at what they say in the tweet. First player, 21 or younger, to score 10 goals in his first 12 games since McDavid and Matthews. Well, it clearly says here in the graphic that McDavid had 10 goals in 14 games at 21. Cutter Gauthier, 10 goals in 12. Austin Matthews had 10 goals in 6 games played. But the graphic also says the first player, 21 or younger. I have a bone to pick with that because there's a player in my mind who stands out right away as somebody who was actually able to do that too after 2018. Look at my guy, gosh darn Elias freaking Pettersson. When he was 19 years old, he went out there in his first NHL season and was able to put up 10 goals in his first 10 games played. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 goals in the first 10 games of his career, with this 10th goal being an absolute Gretzky-like slap shot on the rush. That was 2018-19, and Pettersson was 19. Bleacher Report Open Ice, what are you guys talking about? McDavid, Matthews, and also you got the number on McDavid's stat wrong? I get it, they're trying to make some content, they want to go out there and get views and get engagement, so they'll use McDavid and Matthews' name, but please correct your information. Elias Pettersson was 19 when he scored 10 goals in his first 10 games in his rookie year in 2018-19, the same season that McDavid and Matthews did it, but McDavid did it in 14 games, so what are you even talking about? Anyways, all's that to say is that Cutter Gauthier is doing extraordinarily well. That's a big tangent, but he's doing very, very well. And the Anaheim Ducks fans who are watching this video, hey, you guys are cooking, because you take a look at who else is producing on this squad. I mean, Leo Carlson's at 18 points. Troy Terry is doing amazingly well right now. Mason McTavish, Chris Kreider. The Rangers, the ex-Rangers, they're actually doing pretty well too. So I think there's a lot to be excited for heading into the next little while. This is exactly what the Anaheim Ducks were building for. And it's working. So you can't fault it. It's literally gotten them 3 wins in a row here against Detroit, New Jersey, Florida. Heck, there might even be more wins in a row. They've got 4 in a row. And Cutter Gauthier, it's really sticking it to the man here by being as good as he is, despite demanding out from Philadelphia all those years ago. So with that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the Flyers regret the trade? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.